G'day everyone and welcome to a DUC Migrating to Australia podcast. My name's Wes Zan and today I'm joined by Katie and Tom. So Katie and Tom, welcome to the podcast.
Hi Wes.
Thanks for having us.
Oh good, this is a bit of a take two, guys. We lost a bit of internet connection, so we'll give it another crack. But it's a pleasure and we can't thank you enough for sharing your story with us. So we'll start with that. So Tom, you're the main applicant. It's a diesel motor mechanic. Have I got that one right?
That's right, yeah.
Yep. So, and then what do you do for work, Katie?
For me, I'm a digital learning advisor, so I create online learning content for a further education college.
Wow. Is that all AI these days, or is it changing?
No, it's definitely still kind of human-centered, but yeah, we obviously use a bit of it, but it is mainly kind of us doing the legwork.
All right. I'm petrified of AI. the plumber in me gets worried that, like, hey, I like when people do things and talk. It's anyway, it's a bit easier. So you guys are planning on heading to Oz, and you've got 3 children. I've got Thomas 16, Paisley 13, and Willow 11.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So we started, Tom, you being the main applicant, which is really good, and you've got your skills assessment done. How'd you find your skills assessment?
It was great. It was all right. Like I say, it was all online now, which helps loads. You can do things off your mobile phone. So I was going through it. There was lots of options, and like passport, yeah, I can do that. Driver's license, yeah, I can do that. We got through loads of it, and then it comes to like doing things like videos at work. You had to prove evidence of what you could do at work. So that was awkward because like you've got a mobile phone, you're trying to prop that up somewhere to do some jobs and things, but got through all that fine. And then there was one section right at the end where it was like, what's it called now? I got it written down somewhere. Where is it? It's just it was an online assessment for like Australian industry standards.
Oh, okay.
And this online test was a nightmare. It was, you could take it as many times as you liked. You could answer if you got it wrong, you did the test again. It wasn't a problem that way. But there was one question where it was about a label on the back of some chemicals. And you had to click on a web link, which would take you to the website for this company that made this chemical, and you'd have to find on the back of the sheet what this thing did. You clicked on the web link, and they'd stopped making that product. You could not find the label to get the answer. So you'd have to take the test, and you'd have to guess. Like you'd have 4 options. So I'd guess answer 1 first time, wrong. So you'd have to start the test again. You go around, you get to that question, you'd guess answer 2, but the answer had been swapped around. So like the one that was answer 1 was now like answer 4 in the test. I must have done it 100 times to try and get this test passed through no fault of my own because the web link wasn't valid, but we got there in the end.
Yeah, well, that's thanks to our friends at BetAssess. They were your assessing body, I believe, for your occupation.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So I reckon it's an AI thing there. There you go. You can, Katie, you got your first job when you get to Australia. Is sort that out for BetAssess.
I don't think AI can pick up spanners and screwdrivers yet, so I think our job's safe for a while.
Yeah, unless they make a robot that does it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it is frustrating. Like the skills assessment part's harder. We, as an assessing body ourselves, we don't assess your occupation. We assess like light vehicle mechanics. But yeah, getting the photos and videos, it's basically what you've been tasked to do, Tom, is gather units of competency for Australian standards. So a completion of your skills assessment, you receive the document you need for the visa, which is the skills assessment, but you also receive your full Australian qualification as well.
Yes, yeah.
So, you arrive in Oz as a fully qualified diesel motor mechanic, which is pretty cool. Now, how'd you go with your English test, mate?
It's difficult. Like I say, I picked mechanics. I didn't do very good at school, so I wasn't great at English.
Yeah.
But I took it the first time round. I did all the practice tests at home. I paid for all the practice material you could get, and I failed all that. So I went into it not feeling very confident. But the first time I got enough to get proficient. I got like 90s in listening and reading. I got 89 in writing, which I was amazed about. And then the speaking, I got 83. That was the only thing that let me down on the first test. But I got 10 points for that, and we wanted to get the ball rolling, so we put that in, fired that in, and then got our skills assessment all completed.
But you were only 5 points off superior, weren't you, with that one?
Yeah. So, and then to jump forward a bit, I've resat it this July to try again for superior.
Yeah.
I did better on the writing. Again, I got 90 in writing. I did a bit less in listening and reading, but that didn't matter because for superior, for listening and reading, the scores are really low.
Yeah.
But it's the speaking one that's difficult. To get superior speaking, you've got to get 88 out of 90. And on my second go, I got 83 again. Now, the speaking bit, I think I know how to speak English. I've lived in England for 40 years. I'm pretty good at speaking English. But when you're doing the test, one of the speaking parts is you've got to listen to 3 people having a conversation about, I don't know, living in a college dorms or what the room quality's like. And at the test, they give you a laminated piece of A4 paper. They give you what is essentially a Sharpie. And for 2 minutes, you've got to write down as much as you can listen to about what these people are all saying. After 2 minutes is up, they give you 10 seconds to read the sweaty mess that you've written with a Sharpie on a piece of laminated paper. And then you've got to give a minute speech about what you just heard.
That's nuts. That's crazy.
It's impossible, mate. I mean, I would have preferred a pen and paper, but you can't have pen and paper. You have to have this piece of laminated sheet and a marker pen, and it was solid. But I took it, and I felt I did better, even with the terrible writing. I thought, look, I think I've done better than I did the first time. So with PTE, you can pay to have it rescored.
Yep.
It's £140, but you can pay to have it rescored. And if they find that your points have either gone up or down, you get that money back. Now, because I got 90 in writing, I thought there's absolutely no way I got 90 in writing. Some AIs marked that wrong, so I'm not a scholar, as you call it. I don't write very well. So I thought it's worth the gamble, because even if they knock my writing points down, I'll get my money back at the very least.
Yeah.
Sent it for rescore, and I got superior. I got 90 in speaking, 90 in writing. I think it was 89 and 88 in listening and reading. So I'm one of the few that when you pay for the rescore, I got better. I got enough to go from proficient to superior.
It's weird that I always think like the writing section would be the hardest if I was doing an English test.
Tough.
Like speaking, would be different, but maybe it's not. Very hard.
Very tough, yeah. So like I say, you go on the internet and they say, everyone says, don't bother to rescore. It's a waste of money. But to anyone listening, if you've already got your 10 points for the first time round, I'd recommend going. I'd recommend trying it and getting it rescored, because it's...
Yeah, it's so hard. Like it's just frustrating. So you actually scored pretty high. Like how many years of experience can you prove financially working in your trade?
So I've worked since I was 16 and I'm 40 now, so 24 years of work. But I think the maximum was 8 or 15. I can't remember which one it was now. 8 years for 15 points, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's crazy. So you actually scored really high. So we're putting an expression of interest for you.
Yep.
But they were lodged, so Liv did them for you by the looks of it. And
that's right.
Your score's quite high. I think your score's quite high. Did you...
So it should be 80 points. 80 points with the 5 that you get for state nomination. So 75 for a 189 and 80 for the 190.
And that's pretty good. Like, it's hard as a diesel motor mechanics. We don't know. Obviously, well, this has been recorded on the 17th of August, 2026. So we don't know what the states are looking for, and we know they're going to do a 189 invite round on September the 30th. So hopefully they stick to that, which would be awesome, which would be great. They do that.
That's right.
But you guys put a bit of a spanner in the works, and you actually lodged another visa. Do you guys want to talk to me about that one?
Yes. So because of my age, we rushed to get it through in March with my 10 points for English, and we waited thinking that April, May, June, we might get something for a 190.
Yep.
Nothing happened, and then the states obviously closed. So we thought, instead of waiting again, and we took the English test, get some more points for that. But also I thought, well, let's have a look at some jobs and see if there's any employers out there willing to sponsor us. I mean, I would have loved the 186, the golden ticket, but I managed to find a company that works in Perth, where we want to be, with a company called, I can't remember what the company's called now, I think it's Truck Centre, WA.
WA, yeah.
And they've got a few depots around Perth, and I spoke to a chap there, and I managed to get a visa sponsorship with him.
Yep.
So we looked at that. I know it's an expensive way to do it, because I'm still looking for a 190, so that'd be 2 visas I've got to pay for. But up until recently, a 482 was the quicker way to get there. And then I thought, at least I'll be onshore with those points, which will help. And then even if it doesn't, I think after a year of Australian experience, you get another 5 points.
Correct. Yeah.
We thought we'd rush in. We thought we'd try and do it this way instead. But then I don't know how much you know about it. We're still trying to figure it out with this ministerial direction 119.
I
Looks like it's
don't
throwing a
think
spanner in
they
the
know
works
what's
for everyone.
Tom, I don't think they know what's happening. I know that there was a conference in WA with the MIA on Friday, and I spoke to our principal migration agent just today being a Monday, about it, and she was like, "Yeah, there's not much news. We're just going to have to wait and see what they're doing." And the MIA can't even get like the information from the government.
No.
It sounds like the guys signed off something that says we're going to prioritise this, and this. But then industry is saying, well, that's just going to destroy us if you do that.
Yeah.
And then why would this make sense? And I don't know. It smells like an election's going to be around the corner or something, mate, to be honest. And
That it does feel very political. It feels like they're just trying to keep everybody sweet to stay in control.
It happens every year. Like, why we put all of our clients in the one Facebook group and we do these podcasts, we do the webinars, it's to try and manage everyone's expectations. But the amount of conversations that myself and the team have to have is that, unfortunately, we don't know. It's like the invite rounds. So last year, the states didn't open until December, which was crazy. Yeah. So we've got, awesome clients in Australia at the moment that maybe their working holiday visas expiring in November, December, and they're in a situation like what you're in, Tom. They're like, oh, do we ask our employer to get set up to sponsor, which takes a while, then put in the nomination, or do we just risk it? And it's like, it's hard to say because it's not my money to spend. It's the employer's money and the migrant's money to spend. So you're sort of going, okay, given this new ministerial direction, it would make sense from the information that they've given, but they haven't put any of it into practice yet, that technically what you've done, Tom, is what they're asking for. You apply for a 482, then when you're onshore, you have more of a chance to get an invitation to apply. That's what they're sort of suggesting, but again, nothing's been proven. So the listeners out there, what you've done, yes, you're paying, I'm not sure what you paid or the company paid. We didn't process your employee sponsor visa, but you've got costs associated with it, but then that gets you to Oz quicker. And also, like the when you said before, mate, that you the 12 months in Australia, that's really good that you've recognised that. I'm really proud of our team for advising you on that, because even though you lose 10 points when you turn the dark side of 40, which is the side I'm on, by the way, Tom, so I can, it's not all doom and gloom, mate. We're on the good side of 50. I've got a few more months, but I'm still on the good side of 45, and then I think it might be downhill from there. But you're going to lose your 10 points, but then you get your 5 points for 12 months in experience in Australia.
That's right, yeah.
And and you've also got the option of, once you're employed for 2 years, you can always ask the employer for a 186 direct entry, a 186 a TRT stream, or once you're in Oz, if you do find another employer, you've also got the option to hit them up for a 186 direct entry, because you've got a positive skills assessment, 3 years of experience after a relevant qualification, or 6 months in total with a positive skills assessment. So you tick all those boxes. So it's kind of good that you've done it. It really protects you. So you've obviously really committed to Australia. And Katie, whose idea was it to go on the 482, Katie? Was it yours or Tom's?
I think when kind of, months are passing and we didn't get an invite, I mean, I thought it would be very lucky to get an invite by July, but I said to him, I said to Tom, I think we need to probably be a bit proactive and maybe look at another pathway. Like, let's not just rely on this 190. And I think I had read, or, I kind of heard that kind of, that thoughts as well from the people saying, don't rely on just the 190 PR. So that's when kind of we spoke about, looking at jobs with employer sponsorship. That's what Tom did. He was looking on all the sites and things. But then, and he was, you were offered a job in Victoria, but we turned it down because we wanted to be in Perth. And obviously that's when we got in touch with that recruitment, and they kind of helped us get this interview, and that's kind of where we are now, really.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so it's always been Western Australia, Katie. Why WA? You're speaking to a Victorian, by the way, so you got to be careful.
Okay, apologies.
Why WA over the lovely state of Victoria?
It is a lovely state. We've got some friends in Perth, and it's just being close to the UK as well, which,
Saying closer with air quotes, because I understand Australia's far, no matter where you're sat in it, but on a map you can convince your grandparents, look, it's closer.
Yeah,
Look, you can see
so
it's closer.
nothing against Victoria, obviously. Yeah, just purely, got some friends there who live in Baldivis. Yeah, close to the UK, and obviously it has its positives as well. With the beaches and weather and stuff and other things going on. But yeah, so I think it was kind of a bit of a panic where, we're not sure if we're going to get this 190 before you turn 40, and just kind of thinking worst case scenario. So yeah, hence why we started looking for the 482.
Tom actually raised a good point there when he mentioned the grandparents, because it is easier because you can just chuck them on one, well, not chuck them, you know what I mean? Prepare them, not throw them on there. But yeah, you prepare them for one flight rather than multiple flights, because I think that's the hardest part of going from the UK to Australia is the changeovers in the airlines, waiting at airports. You guys, well, your kids are probably old enough now to sort of, well, they're all old enough now, I guess, to sort of look after themselves and keep themselves occupied. But the ones with young children, it's hard when you've got the stopovers. And for the old, like I know when my mum, she's, she's a bit older, and when she was coming to the UK for our wedding and stuff, that was the hardest part for her. Was she had a 4-hour wait. She would just sit there by that bit where she had to sit because she was too scared to move away from it. So that was the thing that when she came, she was like, "Oh, that was the only bad part. Was I just needed to make sure I was going to get on that next flight." So it is a benefit, the one flight to Perth.
Yeah, even as a young person, those changeovers for me confuse me. You're worried your bag's going to go missing. You're worried you're not going to get the flight in time. There's too many unknowns, isn't there? So, like say, a direct flight, if you can sell it to them that way, look, you get on one plane, you'll be on it for a long time, but once you're off, you'll be in Australia.
Yeah, exactly. And then you've got to you always got to shit. You're in the airport, then they do the searches again for you. Like they won't even let you have a bottle of water that you've bought in the airport. I know the reasons why, obviously, but it's still the waiting and the queuing and all that. My kids are only quite young, so it's that extra bit of pressure that you've got. You just don't sleep. It's just like from my place to where my wife's family is, or in Devon, it's like 30 hours door to door.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, you just up. You just get home. You're like, oh wow, that's it. So, but that's good. And what are the grandparents thinking? Are they sort of supportive, or are they a bit like, oh guys, don't forget about us? What's their thoughts?
So we didn't tell them straight away, because the way I looked at it and the way I explained to the kids, we started in December, and in December it was only an if. Until somebody gives us a visa, or until somebody says on a piece of paper, yes, Tom, you can come, it's an if. And I don't want to upset anybody on an if.
Yeah.
So we left it since December, and then obviously in July, once this 482 came through, it turned in from an if to a when. So that's the week we went round and we went to see everybody. We told friends, grandparents.
Yep.
They all took it badly. There was lots of tears, but none of them said no, you can't go. They're all pleased for us. Everybody said they understand why, they can see the opportunities. They were all very happy, but they were all very sad at the same time. So it was difficult. And the kids have been up and down. So obviously, because they've known from December, the girls have gone from being no, I don't want to go, to like really highs. Oh, I can't wait for that, and then the lows again. My son started on a high, and now he's got himself a girlfriend, and he's about to start a new school for cooking, and he's on a bit of a low now. He's desperate not to go. But
how do you
just trying to convince them that if all I want them to do is to come over, and then once he's 18, I can't stop him. If he thinks he can do better in England once he's 18, that's up to him. I can't stop him from going. But I just want to get there with him while he's young enough where he hasn't got a choice, and then he can see how wonderful it is going to be over there.
Just hold him back till he gets PR, because a 482 is only temporary.
Yes, yeah.
Hold him back. As soon as he gets PR, you've given him, he doesn't know this yet, unless he listens to this podcast. Thomas, you better listen to this, mate. But
yeah, clued up as we are, the amount of research we've been doing, he knows all the numbers and all the different acronyms.
Good, because once he gets PR, he's got it for life, basically. Even if he leaves, you've got the RRR visas, you've got lots of different options for him, but he's there, and then his kids are there, and it's kind of cool once you get when you start the Aussie train, if you got a UK passport.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we've been looking at citizenship and trying to work out the maths, because obviously we started on 190. We thought, yeah, we'll do 190. We're permanent residents straight away. But then citizenship is after 5 years. Now I was wondering about the 482, if we could still apply for that, and apparently my years will count as temporary visa as long as I do the last 12 months as a PR. and then I can apply for citizenship after 5 years. Is that how you know it, or is that
Not really, but it varies. I won't answer that one on this. There's a few factors on it, but usually you have to be a permanent resident for 4 years on that visa, and then you can get citizenship.
before you're going to apply for citizenship?
Yeah. So temporary visas, because there's many different temporary visas. There's many different temporary visas, like working holiday visas. There's probably more temporary visas, guys, than what there are as permanent residencies. Like student visas and all that. So, yeah, but it's not so much. It doesn't matter for the citizenship. You always like it's really interesting. Have you heard the terminology of ping pong pom?
Yes, yeah.
You heard that one? So we get lots of people, and because we've had the business for so long, we still get every few years, every 4 or 5 years, people say, "Oh, can you just apply for our PR, return to residency visa?" Like if they leave the country. And you also get lots of people that have, their visa only valid for 5 years, so they're still working here. They've been here for 6 or 7 years, and they're like, "Oh, I want to go home." They just forget they're not, that visa's expired. So then you go on the return to residency. And I know we have really good success stories where sometimes people have left Australia for 30 plus years even, and we've still been able to get them the return to residency visa, which is really good.
Oh, okay, then. That's
so,
good.
Yeah, as long as he gets PR, then that's a good thing for Thomas to be able to, to do. But it is tough. And how do you address that, Tom? Like if he's a bit down on it, he's got his new life. He's probably, but geez, when I was 16, I thought I was a proper adult. Yeah. How do you address that?
So his goal at the moment is to be a chef. That's what he wants to do. So we found him a college in England. We live near this college in England, in Birmingham, and he's about to start that course in September. So he had all his chef whites delivered a few days ago. So he's trying all those on. He looks really smart. He's really excited about it.
Yep.
So when we were looking for jobs for me, we did bear in mind about him or what he wants to do. And so another factor of moving to Perth and this job with this Volvo garage is they're really close to the Bentley campus, TAFE.
Metropolitan TAFE.
And that college does the cooking course that he does here.
Yeah.
So I've explained to him, like, it doesn't how long we're here. You can do a year here of your course. Then when you move over, you'll have the same course. You'll be able to do the same thing you want to do there. And it's a bus ride away, a train ride away. It's not too far. We haven't moved him away, then he's got no chance of doing his cooking again. We've purposely tried to find something where his life hasn't been disturbed so much.
Yep, and if you can't get enrolled in a course, you've also got the option of RPL, so recognition of prior learning, which is if he can prove like 3 years of paid work experience, a few photos and videos, then he'll actually receive his qualification. So very common in Australia for people to learn on site. So if he is working as a cook or a chef or in a restaurant, he may not necessarily need to go to trade school.
Okay.
It's quite a thing. We just call it RPL, but it's very common at the moment. But we struggle in Australia for apprentices. This is why we've got to bring all the the skilled migrants over. Like no one wants to do apprenticeships anymore. Like it's not people are advertising even in the local community groups, like where I'm in the Mornington Peninsula. Yeah. It's all the time looking for an apprentice. Anyone know an apprentice? Anyone know a young kid who wants to have a go as a plumber or a carpenter or something? And it's, I don't know, it's like not much noise.
It's crazy. It's the opposite here. Like all these kids are crying out for apprenticeships over here, and there's not enough places for them.
Yeah, it's so different, isn't it? Like but then we hear like random stories, like not random stories, but I know that when the Olympics happen, that Energy Skills need an extra 2,000 electricians in Queensland alone.
Wow.
2,000. That's what they're estimating behind them. How can you start building the Olympics and going, it's like, we'll apply for it, but we've got no one to build it.
We haven't got enough electricity. Yeah, exactly.
Well, who's going to actually build this if we're planning on doing it? But anyway, it's not my problem. But
this priority thing, though, they're prioritising construction, so your plumbers, your electricians, and everything else. And I don't know about you, but a builder can't build a house unless there's a truck that's delivered the bricks. They've forgot about diesel mechanics and your infrastructure, your road transport, and they seem to be fixated on building houses. But unless they're carrying them in shopping bags, they're going to need a few trucks to bring them.
Tom, you guys are really good, by the way. You guys are really good because you understand a lot about this stuff. But are you aware that certain occupations, so in the state of Western Australia, if you, just to give the listeners an example, if you're a construction project manager, project builder, architect, landscape architect, building inspector, But then you go down to like your metal fabricator, bricklayer, stonemason, carpenter, joiner, floor finisher, painter, trades worker, glazier, fibrous plasterer, roof tiler, wall and floor tiler, plumber, electrician, the list goes on, cabinet maker, interior decorator. If you upskill, so if you've lived in Western Australia for more than 3 months, sorry, I'm talking about more than 6 months, anything that you upskill up to $7,500, the state of Western Australia will reimburse you.
Really?
And if you apply for a visa in Australia onshore and you're you're on your certain occupation, then if you get a 190 or a 491 state nomination, you can also claim some government fees back on that too. So
Okay.
yeah, when they look at that, that's like that's why this whole list thing. I'm not going to say it's a scare tactic, what they've tried to do, this directive thing. But again, it doesn't make any sense because so Western Australia is saying, hey, if you're in Australia, we're going to, and you've been here for 6 months and you've upskilled, we're going to reimburse you all this money. But you're not on that priority list, for like the directive. Yeah, that one. So it is strange. So that's why I think we just got to watch this space and see what happens. And I don't know, like we're not a clickbait company. Well, Katie knows all about probably the clickbaiting side of it with your, with sort of the fields that you're in. But, lots of other, I see it on my social media posts, like my personal ones, like lots of people talk about it, but they don't give you an answer. They just sort of say, well, this is what it is. But no one tells you what does it mean. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And if they're saying what does it mean, they're just guessing what it means. So it's more like hey, click here and we'll give you information, but we don't really have the information to hand yet. So, yeah, it's a bit frustrating, but every year something pops up. Every year. So, every year there's a little change. Most years, immigration will come out and say, out of these, 300 occupations, we might be taking these off the list. Comes to their decision, 1 or 2 get taken off the list. So for the next, for that 3-4 month period, those poor people that are on that list are sitting there worried, if I don't get an invite, it's all over for me. I'm not going to be kicked off the list, and then nothing happens. And it's just like that emotional surge of, I don't know, like you want to think positive, and it's like that. Like it's like we're not able to do that. So because we've been in migration for so long, it's just changed. Like if you ever chat with Jenny Baker, she's a legend from our team, and been it for so long, it's just things have so changed in migration. It's like they're trying to make it harder. Like they upped all the fees and everything as well. So we're trying to make it harder and more expensive for migrants to be here. But at the end of the day, we need them here. And then the clientele, I guess, that we speak to a lot over here are the work and holiday guys. You mentioned to them, if you don't get your invitation, you've got to go home. And they're like, well, I'm not going home. What else can I do? How else do I stay? I'm like, well, you may not have an option. And they're like, I do not want to go home. It's like, okay, well, you need to have that occupation on the skilled list. You need to start thinking about your options now. It's really hard. So what about the younger, the girls? You mentioned that they're coming to terms more with it now. So are they at the good end of the stick, guys? Are they like sort of excited?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, they've told their friends, and they were quite. They seem really keen, excited to tell their friends, which I think is a good thing. Yeah. But yeah, they're still. I don't know if we give them a choice, maybe would they still want to stay? I don't know, but they're definitely looking more positively, open-minded about it. So they're in the best place that they've been throughout the whole process, really.
Was that when you guys? So how did you guys come to the terms of we're moving to Australia and kids you're coming, or was it like the kids reacted really bad? You were like, oh, okay, we may not go, or was it the foot down and kids, you're coming?
Yeah, no. This is probably the first time we've been selfish. Really, I don't want to retire here, and my clock's ticking, but I could stay because all the grandparents were upset and all the kids were unhappy about it, and I could stay for them really easily. But then once they get old enough, they might decide they want to disappear. They might decide they want to travel. Say, see you, Dad, I'm off. Like, oh, all right then. And then I'm stuck here. Then I've got to retire here. I've got to defrost my windscreen every winter. Look, I've got to be selfish now, and then they can decide what they want. It's all still open for them, regardless of where they live. If they want to travel when they're in Australia, they can travel in Australia. If they want to come back to England, they can come back to England.
Yep.
I'm the one where the choices are limited, so selfish, definitely, but this is the first time in 40 years I've earned it.
But it is also for them as well in their future, and that I think the main thing is that yes, they're going to miss their friends, but they get it. They understand it's a great opportunity. They get all the positives, and I think, you know, it is easier because they're that bit younger, especially for Willow, who's 11. But yeah, they get it, and I think that's all we need from them, is that yes, it's hard. It's been hard for all of us. It's a big change, but they understand the reasons. That's kind of really all I can ask for them, really, is just to kind of try and think positively about it and take this kind of adventure with us and see where it goes, really.
Yeah, that's all you can do, but it's still hard, isn't it? Like the messaging's was easy when my kids were so little because you didn't have to really tell them much. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is harder when the kids, the kids do get a bit older. So, but you mentioned you started the process in December with us. That's pretty good effort, mate. To get your skills assessment, your English test done in like the 8 months. It's not a bad effort.
Yeah. That all went really quickly, and then I think Vet Assess, it was a bit slow for the technical interview.
Oh, it took a while, yeah.
They seemed to wait a few weeks for that. It was a couple, maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and sound long, but when you're staring at your phone every day, waiting for an email, 3 to 4 weeks is a long time. It felt like a long time.
It's good for them guys. It's actually really good. You got away with that one. Sometimes they've been known for months and months to do it. So I actually reckon that's actually quite good. So who actually came up with the idea, Katie? Was it you hitting Tom up, or was it Tom hitting you up, or how did it come about that you got this grand plan to move to Oz?
Well, yeah. So 10 years ago, we both would have liked to have gone. We kind of spoke about it 10 years ago. But we just didn't feel it was the right time. Kids were small, grandparents still really young, and didn't want to kind of take them away and them kind of miss them growing up. And it kind of came alight again, the conversation, because our friends moved over to Perth in September. So that kind of sparked the conversation again. And obviously, you know, 10 years later, kids are older. And, you know, when the grandparents come and visit, you know, they say hello and then they don't see them for the whole visit. So, or they're out with their friends. So it just felt like the right time. Tom was still not convinced that I would leave and actually go through with it. And then we kind of both started to do loads of research, and then we kind of just, I think, spent literally September, October, November researching everything, and then December we finally said, let's have a chat. You know, with my friends actually did recommend yourselves because they used you when they moved.
Oh, who's your friend?
Stefan Martin Hamer.
Okay.
So yeah, they're in Baldivis.
Yeah, nice. So that's good. We like it when we can reunite the friends. But have you ever been to Oz, guys? Have you ever been to Australia before?
No.
No, never.
Which sounds crazy.
No, it does, but it's so common.
It is, yeah. I thought that, yeah. But he's
I think it's different now with YouTube and phones. You can research so heavily now. I've walked through Perth CBD about 3 different times on my phone or through a YouTube video or something, so I know where everything is already.
That's cool. Cool but scary.
Yeah.
Cool but scary.
So then December the 6th, we kind of had the meeting with Mick, and just basically like, right, what are we going to do this? And you know, went through all the figures and things and the process, and that, you know, decided then, and that was it really.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. We get this question asked a lot, is it worth going on a recce, you know, and then coming here? But the time you spend that money, it's sort of like the cost of your visa plus more.
Exactly. That's what it comes down to, really. You know, if we could afford it, then that, you know, we probably would. But it's too difficult to put that money to that when you've got other things to pay for to get over there.
And the way Tom mentioned it before is like he said was really clear. I don't want to retire in the UK.
Yeah.
No.
So
absolutely.
I don't blame you. Like, I don't know. I think like we have this thing called a pension. I know you guys have a pension too because we pay it, but the Australia pension's been around for a long, long time. I think it's about 12% now. Are you guys familiar with our super and our pension?
That's it. Yeah, superannuation is it? Is that what they call it?
Yeah. So it's like 12% of your wage gets added to like a thing that, like into your super, which you can't touch till you turn retirement age, which I think these days, guys, retirement age is about 130 years old. I think it is now.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
They keep upping it. But the idea is
they keep moving the goalpost here as well. Every year they tell me it's another year till I can retire, and I keep doing the maths. I ain't going to make it. I'm not going to make it see this now.
It used to be 60, and I think now it's probably like 65 or something like that. I'm not sure.
68 now.
How much is it now? How old?
68 in this country now.
68.
68.
Geez, they don't like it, do they? Anyway. So we've got this cool thing. So like you'll see lots of people in their retirement, they just buy the caravan, shoot around Australia. They've got nothing to do. Yeah,
that's the dream.
Yeah, I remember when I was traveling Oz, I saw a bumper sticker, and it was called Viagra. Was the bumper sticker, and it said "Veterans ignoring age roaming around Australia" or something like that.
Nice.
And when I saw the first one, I thought that's a bit cheeky, and then I saw lots of them, and it was kind of like a thing. It was 20 years ago anyway. I was traveling around, but yeah, I used to see that, and you'd always think that's how it is, like your retirement. Like, I can't wait for the day, that you can sort of kick back and just go fishing, go for walks, just do whatever you need to do, but you'll be warm.
Yeah.
You'll be warm and you got your family around you. You have to get used to the Aussie rules footy guys and all the fun stuff. And like, we'll talk about that now. I mean, what are you mainly looking forward to do, guys, when you get here? Like, what's on your first thing to do, Katie? Your first weekend, you're all settled. What's the first thing you want to do?
I think it sounds really well. Cottesloe Beach, just love the look of it there. It looks really beautiful. But definitely just the beach, the ocean. Having a good coffee as well. Love a coffee. Yeah. Just with the simple things, like nothing. Just the simple things like that. Really, like that will just bring us a lot of joy. Yeah, it is cool. It is good. The first thing I always think about when I go back and visit the UK is a curry. I reckon you curry over in Australia like they do in the UK. I like to be talking about it for like 3 weeks, I reckon, before I heading over there. Which one am I going to go to? I like study it and research it. The kids will be like, what can we see around London? I've no idea. But we're going to get this curry in. Yeah. But it is weird how it works. Well, guys, I think you guys are up for a very exciting journey. If there's anything we can do when you get to Australia, please do reach out. And thank you again for taking the time out of your morning to to chat with us. And it's been a very valuable conversation for the listeners. What do you guys think? Yeah, definitely. Thanks so much for having us. It's been really good to kind of talk through everything, hasn't it? Yeah. I hope it helps other people as well. Yeah. We're here to help, guys. And you've got those. Let's hopefully, it'll probably happen that you probably get an invite when you're waiting for the 482 visa to be granted.
That sounds about right, yeah.
That's just generally how it works. But you put yourself in a good position to then, maybe you accept the invite as soon as you arrive in Oz. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Whatever's quickest to PR. Beg your pardon? Whichever way is quickest to PR. Yeah, you want the PR. The PR is really good. But, yeah, look, guys, all the best and hope the kids in that, they get through what they have to get through, because it's not just, it is challenging. And yes, you do have to be selfish, mate, and you've got to make it right for you, because they will get old and forget about us soon enough. And I hope Australia works out for you. So listeners, keep safe. We'll catch you on the next one, and appreciate your time, guys, and keep safe, everyone. Catch you soon. Lovely. Cheers, Wes. Thanks, mate. Thank you.